Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special edition of the Dark Match.
Yay!
Woo! Yeah!
Because
Yay!
we figured that some of you out there, if you listened to us before, you probably noticed that we don't have an Extreme Rules review up. That is because
Skype recorder fucked us!
Boo! Fucking Skype recorder.
Yay! Wait.
I was gonna say a wormhole opened up and dumped it into a different space and time continuum, but yeah, I guess Skype recorder fucked us works. Works
No, that's
too.
how Skype recorder fucked us.
Oh, okay. Damn Skype recorder opening up interdimensional portals. Why don't you get a job?
Interdimensional planetary.
We can never get away from that, can we?
No, of course not. At any rate, I am No Leaf Clover, and joining me tonight are Backlash,
What up?
Iron Bite,
Yo.
and Digipig.
Yeah.
And we are going to talk about something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I've been wanting to go back because when I first started watching wrestling in 2000, around June 2000, and my dad, we watched an episode of Monday Night Raw. We were watching Monday Night Raw, and I think the main event for that was The Rock and Lita versus Triple H and Trish Stratus. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. But my dad was like, oh, well, there's this other wrestling show if you want to watch that. And I was like, oh, cool, what is it? So he turns to Monday Nitro, and the first thing I see on Monday Nitro is G.I. Bro.
Oh, I love Misfits in Action.
Ah, yes.
Oh, they were my favorite. They were my favorite of the shitty groups that WCW popped out. Oh, I love
God.
Yeah, but for 13-year-old No Leaf, I was like, who the fuck is this black guy in fatigues? I'm gonna go watch The Rock and Triple H now. Bye. So yeah, that was like my only real experience with WCW at that point. I would every once in a while I would try and watch Nitro or Thunder, but I couldn't get into it because I didn't know anybody, and that was when I was really young and I was kind of a mark. But as time has gone on, I've gone back, and thanks to the WWE Network, which you can get for only $9.99 a month.
We're not getting paid for that.
Well, no, I wasn't mentioning it because we got paid. I'm just saying because you could spend $9.99 a month on WWE Network, and you would spend less money on that than you did on the fucking Floyd Mayweather fight.
That's true.
I mean, you would spend like $10 more for 12 months of WWE Network than on one fight.
But you're also getting a lot more content.
True, very
and
true.
speed of content.
Yeah, I've been watching more and more WCW. I really like it, and the thing is that WWE has devoted what seems like millions of dollars to trying to convince everybody that WCW was fucking garbage. That is like every WWE documentary is basically like they wouldn't put over new stars. They stole a whole bunch of talent from us. Blah 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 blah. The only good thing about WCW was the cruiserweights. Nothing else was good about WCW, and I wanted to point out that there was lots of good stuff about WCW. It's just I picked this pay-per-view because tonight you get to see what's the best about WCW and what's the fucking worst about WCW on one show. But before we get into the show,
you haven't even said what the pay-per-view is.
Oh, right. It's SuperBrawl VIII, live from the Cow Palace in San Francisco with 12,620 people in attendance.
Wait a second here. Okay. We're in the Cow Palace in San Francisco, right?
Yes.
Cow Palace in San Francisco.
Yes.
Does nobody see the irony there? Because this is
the
something
rice roni treat.
I would expect the Cow Palace to be in Texas.
That's not really ironic as much as it is stupid.
Well, that too. But we're getting ahead of us.
Kind of, yeah. Let's try to get back on track. As you were saying, No Leaf.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you guys like what your personal experience with WCW was, because like I said, I basically didn't watch it until long after it was dead. So, did you guys watch it like during the actual Monday Night Wars?
I did, as a matter of fact. Probably starting around '94. Me and my dad used to watch WCW Saturday Night whenever we could. And then when Nitro came along, I basically watched that religiously. And I'll be honest, it was around SuperBrawl VIII that I made the switch over, because I had only watched Raw kind of sporadically. Like, whenever WCW was doing something I wasn't interested in, I'd flip over to Raw. But March 30th, well, no, not exactly on March 30th, but around that time, the end of March, WrestleMania 14 was in Boston. My parents bought me tickets to that, and I saw Steve Austin beat Shawn Michaels for the WWF title.
I did not know you actually saw that match.
Live in the Fleet Center.
Oh, wow.
And from then on,
Damn.
I was sold on WWF.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I don't think you ever mentioned that before.
I think I did, like, when we first formed this show and we were talking about what we were doing, which is a recording that has been lost to time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I have tried watching WrestleMania 14 again to see if you can see me, my 14-year-old self in the crowd wearing a Sting t-shirt, no less.
You fucking Mark.
Back when the Monday Night Wars started, I would be sneaking watching Raw and Nitro. And it was around this time that I really became a fan of the WWE more so than WCW, because of how convoluted WCW was getting. And I never really saw any of the pay-per-views because, A, my parents really didn't want me watching wrestling, and B, it was mostly that. They controlled the finances, and the TV, so it's not like I could go, oh, I'm going to watch this. But what sold me on the Monday Night Wars was flipping back and forth and seeing the kind of contrast between WCW and the WWE and how they presented themselves. WWE would have this kind of gritty, in-your-face realism, while WCW was kind of, hey, here are these superheroes, and here are these supervillains.
See, I actually think it's back. Well, I think it's actually backwards, but let's. I guess we'll get into that later. Digi, what was your experience with WCW?
Well, damn, I have like pretty much no experience watching it except for
Really?
just here and there. Yeah. So
Well,
just
you're kind of in the same boat as me, except like.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting that we have two people that actually, like, we have one person who watched it somewhat religiously, we have another person who snuck and watched it, and then we have two people who, I've gone back and watched a lot of it, and you haven't watched much of it at all.
Yeah.
But
so...
I do think it's interesting that it seems like everyone sort of starts to fall out of love with, and keep in mind, this is 1998, this is WCW's most profitable year ever was 1998. So it's not like the company's dying yet, but you can kind of see that the WWE is starting to overtake them, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that on the other show, Stone Cold Steve Austin is about to become the biggest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, and unfortunately, what does WCW have?
The other reason I picked this show is because everybody talks about Starrcade 97 as the moment that WCW started to die, because that was the night. Well, we'll get into what happened during the main event, but I picked this show specifically because of what happens on this show. But with that all said and done, let's get it started.
Let's do it.
we send it down to everybody's least favorite ring announcer, Dave Penzer.
Oh my God!
and also
Penzer.
technically former WCW champion.
Wait,
Was
what?
he really?
What?
For technically the San Francisco 49ers match, he technically won the title in that.
Oh
What?
my God!
Oh,
Because
you're
the stipulation
right.
was whoever picks up the belt becomes champion, and Booker T dropped the belt out of the box, and Dave Penzer handed it to him.
Oh, God damn it. We are going to have to run through a lot of WCW because it's so fucking glorious how batshit insane this company gets. But at any rate, let's start with the awesomeness of WCW. Dave Penzer informs us that the following contest is the first of 2 matches for the WCW World Television Championship.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Oh yeah. Oh,
This-
this is awesome.
This
All right.
pair of matches, by the way, I do believe made it's Booker T versus Rick Martel. Rick Martel is the champion, and immediately following this, the winner of this match will take on Buff Bagwell of the Flock.
No, no, it's Perry Saturn of the Flock.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Get me a picture of Buff Bagwell. Get me a picture of Perry Saturn from this era. Put them side by side. Tell me you can tell the difference.
I can tell the difference because one looks like a black dude with cross eyes.
What?
Perry Saturn.
What? Wait, a black dude?
Well,
You said a black dude.
I-
Neither
I'm
of them are
gonna-
black.
I'm just saying when I don't know why, but for some reason when the Radicals came to the WWF, I always thought Perry Saturn was a black dude. I don't
It's
know
the
why.
What?
I always was like, oh, Perry Saturn's a black dude. It wasn't until years later when I saw his pale ass in ECW, I was like, wait a fucking minute.
All right, you know what? I'll give you that. But this is a very good showing of a very good example of changing the script on the fly and trusting the guys who work for you to change it up.
Yeah.
Essentially.
There's also something we forgot to mention that I have a note on. There's a lot of fallout from the previous pay-per-view Sold Out that came before this. One of the matches that was advertised was Larry Zbyszko versus Louis Spicolli, but Spicolli, of course, passed away a week before the pay-per-view, unfortunately. So
Yeah. It was that is it's a tragedy, but
It was canceled.
yeah, and it's worth mentioning, just out of respect.
Yeah.
Another thing that is actually worth mentioning is throughout the night, Tony Schiavone,
Tony Schiavone.
I don't know. It's been so long since he's been on the air.
You say
Tony
Shivani, I say Shivano.
Yeah, Tony Schiavone, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and He-Man.
Bobby the Brain He-Man would have been the best cartoon
Iron Bite,
ever.
you are on fire tonight.
I am. And of course, the Professor, Mike Tenay, your announce team, will constantly be calling back to Starrcade and Sold Out. Constantly talking about the referee situation that had happened. And because in the main event of Starrcade, the reason why we're going to have our main event be Hulk Hogan versus Sting 2 is because Nick Patrick.
Well, I really feel like we should save all the
Right,
Starrcade
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
episodes
we'll
for the
get
main
into
event.
that later.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Nick Patrick is showing up in a little bit. But right now, we have a TV title match. And, guys, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I've never really liked Booker T. I'm sorry. I found the Harlem Heat gimmick annoying when I was a kid. And that just kind of carried over as he progressed in his career. He's always just kind of bugged me, and I'm sorry.
You don't like Booker T? Watching old Booker T matches made me completely reform everything I thought about Booker T. Because he is fucking awesome in this match.
I won't deny that he puts on a good match, but one of the things that really led me to stop watching Nitro altogether was him getting pushed to the main event spot in 2000.
Well, Well, that's a whole different
It's
can
just
of worms.
it's just personal preference. It's just personal preference. It's
We'll
nothing
eventually
against the
get
guy.
to that.
It's the gimmick I didn't like. He put good matches on. It's the gimmick.
Yeah, okay, I understand that.
The
But
Spinneroonie and the
yeah, all that stuff. It is kind of corny, but the fact is, Booker comes out and he is way, way, way fucking over. Like
He really is
he
because
gets a huge pop when he comes out.
I do believe this was like his singles debut.
No, I mean he'd been a singles competitor for a while. He was actually the WCW television champion, and then Rick Martel.
Right.
Rick Martel beat him for the belt on Nitro. So that's why we're having 2 matches, because Martel beat Booker T for the belt on Nitro. So Booker T gets his return match, and then the winner faces the #1 contender, which is Perry Saturn.
So instead of making this a triple threat, which is what the WWE would have done, they're gonna do 2 matches, one immediately following the other,
which is a nice treat.
which is actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, because we should talk about this now, because this match is really, really good, but I don't want to get bogged down in talking every single spot out.
Yeah,
so,
but there is something worth talking about, and that's the fact that the booking had to be changed on the fly here.
Yeah,
Not just on the fly.
Because I guess they underestimated how big the ring was, and Booker throws Rick Martel across the ring, and his knee hits the bottom rope, and I guess I don't know exactly what happened.
He basically tore his MCL.
Oh, yeah, that's a bad injury. So,
Martel was booked
Martel was booked to defend the title, to still be champion at the end of the night, but he had to. They had to change the booking on the fly. Booker had to beat him, and then basically because they weren't prepared to wrestle each other, Saturn and Booker had to call the entire match
by themselves. Yeah, and first of all, let's give props to Rick Martel, because he kept going after he got hurt.
I believe, what was it, 5 more minutes?
Yeah, he kept going after he got hurt. And second of all, this is WCW, when veterans always fucking screw it over guys. And Rick Martel could have easily gone, you know what, even though, I'm hurt, I'm still going to win the title. But...
Hi, Sam.
Oh, hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Yep, Sam makes his guest appearance on the show.
I haven't heard Sam in a long fucking time, to be honest.
I know.
But yeah, he could have said, fuck it, I'll just retain the title, they'll figure out something, but he decided to put Booker T over anyways, which is fucking, that's a really stand-up thing to do when he didn't have to do that.
So, and again, Booker T will win and then retain the title. And one of the things that I noticed about this, and I guess this is just something that I didn't notice as a kid, was these guys were really, really slow. Like
methodical.
Yeah, well, it was lots of psychology.
It was a very slow style of wrestling, and I'm scratching my head. I'm going, yeah, okay, I guess. I mean, but these guys were younger, so it's not like.
Well, the thing is, if you're accustomed to the WWF style, WWF style is, you get hit, you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. Like Jericho talked about in his book, how, the reason that he had to work with X-Pac for, when he first came in, was so he learned that style, where, it's very fast paced, very, you run the ropes you're running the ropes all the time, you're up, you're down, it's a very different pace. But I liked the pace of this match, because
it's
all
so
the spots,
refreshing.
Yeah, all the spots kind of have like a moment to breathe. Like a lot of times in WWF, a big spot will happen, and then they're up in 4 seconds and they're on to like the next sequence of moves. Here, it's a little bit more psychology based and a little bit more like, okay, we're not performing a choreographed dance number. This is actually a fight. It's actually a wrestling match.
Interesting. But and one of the cool things though that happens during this match is they cut to the side where in the front row is the flock.
The flock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Raven has this stable that's called the flock. It's this weird. It's always the weird and outcast people that, slightly deranged. They're going to stay there almost the entire show, by the way. They don't leave.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Raven isn't on the show tonight. Well,
No.
wait, is Raven on the show?
No,
he's
he's
not.
No.
He was going through this whole series of things where he was like trying to hold on to championship titles without ever wrestling a match.
Right.
So,
the finish of the first match comes when Booker hits the axe kick, and I'm like, oh shit, the match is over. But no, stupid, no, Leaf. This is not his finisher yet. His finisher is the Harlem Hangover, which he misses, and then eventually he hits the Harlem Sidekick, which is not really a finishing move, and it also injured Rick Martel even more.
Oh yeah, so it was stiff.
Yeah. But Booker T gets the 3 count, and Perry Saturn jumps the rail. He throws Rick Martel out, and he immediately starts fucking going after Booker.
He
just, like,
opens with the
jumps
Rings
him.
of Saturn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he opens with the Rings of Saturn. And I thought one great point that I think Bobby the Brain Heenan made was that putting the Rings of Saturn on Booker so relatively early. Bobby the Brain Heenan basically like, look, it doesn't matter that it's early in the match. He's not trying to make Booker T submit. He's trying to wear him out. He's just trying to hurt him because he's just trying to take advantage. I was like, oh my god, coherent color commentating that actually makes the story of the match work.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like
that's-
on good nights, Shivani and Tanay were usually on top of stuff.
but you add Brain to the mix, and it's suddenly, hey, look, they're actually telling a story. Hey, look, they're actually promoting what's going on in the ring, as well as telling the story of what's going on outside of the ring. They're not plugging. They're not, trying to interact with social media. They're not trying to be swarmy or smarky or whatever you want to call it. They're calling the product.
I have a feeling that the deeper into this we go, the more we're gonna fucking rip on fucking Cole, JBL, and Booker T.
Well, yeah,
Oh
because
yeah.
Also, Bobby Heenan shows you how you can be a fun heel commentator.
Yeah.
oh my god, I actually
in other words, not
legitimately
JBL.
I legit laughed at a couple of Brain's lines. I won't lie.
For
But yeah.
example, Booker, Bobby the Brain Heenan points out that if Booker T gets pinned, then it'll be the shortest ever TV championship reign. And Shivani goes, "Huh, that's actually a great point, Bobby." And Bobby the Brain says, "What? You think this brain thing is just a gimmick?"
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
And I love I'm so hungry for fucking good commentary. This show was a fucking treat.
So
Oh wait, God, was it ever?
Yeah.
So Booker will win with 2 Harlem sidekicks, one to
Yeah.
Martel, one to Saturn.
Yeah, really, both were really good matches, and both made Booker look like a fucking beast.
And like I said, I do believe this was basically Booker T saying, "I'm here."
Yeah.
And it's funny because like I noted that Booker's finish came without any drama. Like it was just, I wrote it was samurai style. It was just like quick.
Yeah,
Just like that match over.
Like, unlike, again, another difference from the WWE, which is where, there's that big theatrical, you're
Oh, I gotta
setting
work
up.
up to it.
Yeah.
You're tuning up the band.
It's building up. Yep.
No, it's just, here it is. Boom.
Again, like it's an actual fight. You're not gonna let the guy fucking know that you're gonna hit him with the Harlem sidekick. You're just gonna fucking do it and pin him.
Yeah. I mean, when they hit it outside of when they hit it out of nowhere, that's literally what it is. And this will actually come back a couple matches from now. Oh,
Wow.
Gee, I don't know what that is, but you gotta.
That plane is really fucking
Wow.
loud.
that is, and very, very low. Digi?
Yeah.
How many stars do you have?
Okay. Back.
All right. Right. Let's move on to our next match: Disco Inferno versus La Parka.
For no reason.
Because why not?
Wait.
No.
I forget. Wait. Before we start.
Okay,
Before
I think
we
it's
go.
gone, sorry.
Yeah, before we go, I have one more Bobby the Brain Heenan line that I thought was hilarious. Tony Schiavone goes, "Are we gonna argue all night, you and me?" And Bobby goes, "Not if you leave."
That was great.
I loved that.
That was actually pretty funny. I mean, it's like, not if you leave. It's like he has a choice.
But in regards to the match, if WWE wants a lesson in how to make a guy look really strong, this is how you make a guy look really strong. Even if it was an accident, this made Booker look fucking amazing, and he's more over than he was leaving the match.
Oh yeah, like this is how you start a pay-per-view, damn it.
Yeah.
And speaking of, like I said, the next match is for no reason. There is absolutely no reason Disco Inferno and La Parka should actually be facing one another. But the reason that is given is La Parka doesn't like disco. And I'm not talking about Disco Inferno. By the way, guys, I have disco fever.
We all have disco fever tonight.
Disco fever. Disco fever.
I love
that
Eddie
shit's
Gilbert.
so
I
good.
absolutely have
He's
been
not- You mean Glenn Gilberti. Eddie Gilbert's a different dude.
Is he really? Oh, well, yeah. Glenn Gilberti, I don't even... I guess I don't like him enough. But I love this band. I love disco. I have been a huge fan of him for ever. He was one of my favorite parts of WCW, and I always thought it was so criminal that they never really used him.
Well, the problem with Disco is that Disco is not well liked backstage. I mean, people like him, but they don't like him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
They like that he's a fucking goof and they can fucking rag on him, but they're not gonna like push him. And it's kind of hard to push a character like Disco Inferno very far.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing about Disco that you gotta know is he took the gimmick and embraced it.
Well, he actually came up with it.
Well, right, but he took that gimmick and he embraced it. It's not, oh, well, I'm a disco dancing fool. No, it was, I'm a disco dancer who just happens to be able to wrestle.
Yeah.
I always pictured his gimmick more as John Travolta just stepped out of Saturday Night Fever and said, fuck it, I'm going to be a wrestler.
That actually...
Yeah, exactly.
Because he does look kind of like John Travolta in that.
Yeah, kind of. That. But, this match, by the way, La Parka is part of the WCW Cruiserweights.
How?
I don't know how, but he's technically... I guess it's because he wrestles with a mask.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this right now. Of all the cruiserweights we see, including El Dandy, who is the best cruiserweight, La Parka is the... I don't fucking get why anybody likes La Parka, except for the fact that, like, he has a chair, and he plays it like a guitar.
He's the chairman.
I just wrote that he looks like Skeletor.
That too.
Yeah. Before the bell even rings, La Parka fucking throws a chair at Disco and hits him right in the fucking shoulder.
Yeah, and Disco, like, is about to grab it and go, and the ref is like, no.
Match.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. WCW has a very odd rule. The rule is you cannot toss anybody over the top rope.
Well,
no,
that rule. Does that rule come into effect here?
No, it doesn't. But I'm just going to point this out because a couple of times during this match and a couple of times during the previous matches, they did mention the over-the-top rule and how the referee was
ignoring it or letting it go.
Or just letting it go. A lot of this is, the ref's letting this go because why not? But
I always thought that was just a holdover from when Bill Watts was booking.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Because he basically tried to kill the cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
And
so, yeah, it was just that, I guess, it is one of those weird things that, like, whenever they can't think of a finish, they randomly pull that shit out, where they're like, oh, well, he went over the top rope, and it is still technically a rule, so, disqualification!
Yeah, so, again, like I said, it is interesting to know that, yes, this rule is still in effect, yes, it actually does play a little bit of into play, but only in the commentating. Now, one of the things I did like about this match is the fact that Disco and La Parka traded spots. There's a spot where they go down to the floor. La Parka unloads on Disco. I think a clothesline, some kicks, and then thrown into the guardrail. They get back into the ring. They get back out on the floor, and Disco does the exact same moves to La Parka.
Yeah, like, take that, you fucking dick. That hurt.
And it is kind of amazing. And, of course, the other thing is WCW's guardrail system is exactly that. A guardrail.
Yeah, it's not a fucking black barricade.
Yeah, a lot of fans had bruised shins after this show.
Yeah.
The front row in a
because this is not the first nor the last two guardrail spots on this card.
Or in this match.
Yeah.
The most common... In fact, this is the... WCW was infamous for this. The front row in a WCW show was not the best seats in the house. Because you never knew when someone was going into the guardrail, which, by the way, was not secure to the floor.
It's basically like sitting ringside at fucking SeaWorld where you're going to get splashed by dolphins.
Yeah.
Except you get a fucking foot in the face.
Or a guardrail.
No, it's like even worse. It's like the CZW shows where they're bashing each other with light tubes, and that shit is showering on the front row.
God, yeah.
We are not reviewing CCW.
No way.
But
another Bobby the Brain. We're not reviewing CZW. Fuck you, Iron Bite. Another Bobby the Brain Heenan line. Bobby the Brain Heenan says he's surprised that La Parka isn't doing some of those Salto Moons to Disco Inferno.
It was a flub, but he ran with it.
No, it was not a flub. It was a fucking... He meant to fucking say that. Because Tony and Mike immediately rag on him for it, but he's just like, yeah, Salto Moon. Like, isn't that what it's called? Salto Moons? Like, it's a moonsault. Oh, well, I call it a Salto Moon. Bobby the Brain Heenan asleep is better than anybody on commentary currently commentating today.
Amen.
Yeah. Not too much into this match, but Disco does beat La Parka with the move that was gaining popularity, the Chartbuster.
Beat him with the fucking stunner.
Yeah, and no wind up either. No kick to the gut, middle fingers, and then stunner. No, it's just, here's the stunner.
He beat him with the fucking stunner.
Well,
and I wrote that, like, this match has like, it almost seems like it had too much psychology.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like it was supposed to be that big a deal. It
was a throwaway match, but
yeah.
Speaking of throwaways,
when two people care. Oh, are we moving on to the next match?
Yeah, that's a throwaway. Goldberg beats Brad Armstrong.
No.
Oh wait, is this the part where we have the interview?
The 5-second interview?
No, it's the interview segment with Mean Gene in the aisle with JJ Dillon.
Oh yeah.
Oh right. Yeah. Oh okay. Yeah. This is we're finding out about the status of referee Nick Patrick, and this is when we should talk about it because Starrcade '97 main event, Hogan versus Sting, and everyone knows this. They basically just buried Sting, and the finish was supposed to be that Nick Patrick was supposed to fast count him, but he didn't, and nobody knows why he didn't. Like, Nick Patrick has been interviewed about this several times. He's like, did I even call that match? Yeah, you fucking did.
Yeah, he's such a fucking dick.
Oh god! And by the way, the hair, the late '90s mullet. Oh, Nick Patrick had a glorious mane.
He had a fucking full head of hair on him.
Oh,
what happened?
That is his only redeeming quality. Is that
the
fucking
2000s happened? This interview, JJ. By the way, there is no backstage area for them to conduct this interview, so they do it in the aisle. Which is something WCW would do during pay-per-views, but not Nitros or Thunders.
Well, I think they would have interview segments on Nitros.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about
they had a bunch of them in the ring.
No, I'm talking about in pay-per-views. They really, if I recall correctly, they never really did go to the backstage area. That was always verboten or something. But you come to the aisle where Mean Gene and J.J. Dillon is, and they're talking about Nick Patrick, and J.J. Dillon's like, "Okay, Nick, come on out here. You're reinstated." And Nick's like, "Yes. Now I'm gonna call the main event fair and down the middle." And JJ's like, "No." And Mean Gene is like, "You're not actually calling any matches tonight. You've just been reinstated."
Yeah, and Nick Patrick's like, "What? I'm the head official. I should be calling the main event match. We're gonna have a talk about this." Blah, blah, blah.
And he didn't even talk about my back pay.
I almost forgot that part.
What? But again, like we said, and by the way, this has actually been something the announcers have been talking about for the past 3 matches. So they've been talking about how the officials are trying to be more on the ball, more neutral, more calling everything down the middle, and they are. And this is going to actually come into play. 2 matches from now. From what I'm seeing, because but again, it's like, oh my god, there's a story going on.
WWE tries to do this, but most of the time it fails. But there's a story in the story of the pay-per-view, which is
and it's works. Wait, this is actually good. And as I said before, the next match is Goldberg beating Brad Armstrong because streak.
Unadvertised match as well.
Yeah. Well, again, this match does have some historical significance.
What historical significance does?
I mean, it's about. I for one, maybe I'm in the minority because people don't like Goldberg, but I do like the way that they build Goldberg here.
I will say this. This is one of the few things WCW did get right was building Goldberg.
Yeah, and this must have been pretty early in that build too, because Brad Armstrong.
Yeah, this is maybe like 2 or 3 months into it, maybe.
Yeah, so it's like
Well, he had a match with Mongo at Starrcade, so it'd be about 3 months.
And Bobby Heenan is like, this is the only guy I'd consider going back to being a manager. That's how impressive this is how impressive Goldberg's build was. Bobby Heenan was considering going back to being a manager and managing Goldberg. Not really, but you know what I'm getting.
And that's how he puts guys over,
Yeah, this is actually how you put a guy over. So not trying to start a "feed me more" chant or whatever the hell they did with Rusev. It's like you just let the crowd get behind them naturally. I mean, it does help that really the booking committee, which is at this point Hogan.
No, it's like Hogan is doing the stuff in the main event, but it's guys like Dusty and Kevin Sullivan and
to be
guys
fair,
like that.
When I'm talking about I'm talking about the undercard. nobody really gave a shit about about Goldberg until he started amassing this streak of 200 wins in a row. So,
Yeah,
again,
but you're absolutely wrong. I mean,
I know,
it's completely up to the bookers what should be over. I mean, what does the crowd know?
I don't know.
I mean, what does the audience know about, what we are so bitter.
They don't know anything about what they want.
God damn it, Vince! What have you done to us?
All right, so up next, after Bill Goldberg beats Brad Armstrong because
Goldberg, we have our match of the night. Chris Jericho versus Juventud Guerrera in a title versus mask match for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Oh my God, this was so sexy.
Oh my Lord. And, okay, this was Chris Jericho at his whiniest.
But you know what? He was amazing when he was
whiny. Yes!
Oh my God, I will take this Chris Jericho over the absolute boring Chris Jericho we've had for the past, 5 years.
Yeah.
This is the Chris Jericho who was so over with the fans, he could get them to do anything. They would bring signs to have him rip up.
Exactly.
He would whine to the crowd. He would throw temper tantrums.
And the best part of it is that this is still the beginning of it, so we have a bunch more awesome Chris Jericho shit to see.
Well, until he finally gets fed up with WCW and jumps ship to the WWF.
Yeah.
But again, but that's another show. And the whole point of this is Chris Jericho wants to see Juventud Guerrera in his ugly glory.
Yeah, this was all part of them trying to unmask all the Lucha Libres.
Luchadors.
I don't know why they were doing this.
Because Eric Bischoff hates money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they
very, very, very good at spinning it and very, very, very bad at making it.
Yeah, pretty much.
They don't like guys with masks.
Well, the whole point was I think they were trying to create an image that they could control because these guys were luchadors. They came into WCW as part of this program to bolster the fledgling company. And eventually, they became one of the mainstays of the company. The Cruiserweight division was the division to be in if you were a young kid.
Yeah.
And Juventud Guerrera was quite possibly one of the best cruiserweights they had. But standing on top of that mountain was Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
And my God, how well these two work together.
The first thing in the match is that Jericho refuses to take his belt off.
Oh my God, I love that.
He keeps trying to wrestle in the belt, and then
eventually
it's
he just gets
gimmick, man.
He gets slammed, and then he's like, "Okay, take the belt."
Yeah, and Hoovy kicks him right in the stomach.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh my God, this was a mistake."
This isn't armor. Eric Young lied to me. Who's Eric Young? I don't know. Some guy I know in the future.
And then more brilliant Jericho. Hoovy hits a springboard Hurricanrana to from the apron, off the apron, which was fucking incredible.
Lands on the apron.
Yeah. This was amazing, and I gotta love one of the near falls. Jericho only manages to get his foot on the rope, and the entire crowd thinks they count to 3 because it's WCW, so of course they ring the bell.
Yes, okay,
but
what
also
happened was no.
Wait. There's another spot
on this one.
Yeah, because the spot I was going to talk about was that after Jericho gets Hurricanrana, he tries to get himself intentionally counted out because if he gets counted out, he won't. So he's on the floor and he's selling like death. He's selling like AJ at WrestleMania 31.
Yeah,
but every once in a while he'll stick his head up and peek.
He's doing the possum thing, you know.
Yeah.
He is laid in state. He is literally laid on his funeral briar like he's fucking Joffrey from the Game of Thrones.
All he needs is those fucking rocks with the creepy ass eyeballs, and he's good.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, that's how he's selling this. And Hoovy Hoovy gets frustrated and finally tosses his ass in because it's like, yeah, I know what you're doing now. And
we get another guardrail spot.
yeah, we get a lot of guardrail spots.
Even more bruised shins.
Yeah. Now the spot Backlash was talking about, Hoovy hits the 450, which is his finisher, gets the pin, 1, 2, and Chris Jericho in front of the referee as the referee's arm is coming down. There is no way to stop this. Gets it on the bottom rope. And the ref, and this is a Chris Jericho mainstay, by the way, he did this a lot. And so the crowd counts to 3. It fools the timekeeper who rings the bell. And
no, this was common in WCW. They had the worst timekeepers. The bell would just go off randomly.
And the ref's like, no, he had it on the ropes. And the commentator, she's like, can we get a replay on that? I think he did get it. I think he did. I think he beat the 3 count. Can we see that again? I guess then we're gonna have to wait. And we get a chop block spot because Lion Tamer, and eventually Chris Jericho will beat Hoovy with the Lion Tamer smack dab in the middle of the ring. And when he locked that on, I missed that Lion Tamer so much.
Yeah.
It looked like it was fucking.
Yeah, it looks like the walls of Jericho has nothing on the Lion Tamer.
And when we get to see the replay, and it is blindingly obvious Jericho was able to get to the bottom rope just as the referee's hand was coming down.
Yeah.
It put me into the thought process of how the WWE would have handled this. You actually have to get the signal from the ref that the match is over, not, oh, he counted 3, ding ding ding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how Wes Adams got fired.
So, meanwhile, Chris Jericho is thanking the Jerichoholics.
Obscure ECW references.
Yeah. The Jerichoholics around the world, and yeah. Now let's see your ugly mug.
He calls Juventud Quasi Juice and Quasi Forever.
He's like, yeah, he's making like Quasimodo jokes.
So Hoovy's like, Dad, I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. As he's taking off the mask, and Jericho's like, all right, this is taking frickin' forever. And he rips the mask off to reveal
a Mexican dude
who's actually quite attractive.
Not bad looking. I mean,
yeah, I'm straight enough to admit that.
Oh, and also another great Bobby line. Again, when there's a lot of shows when Bobby doesn't give a shit, but when Bobby gives a shit, he's the best. Because after Juventud takes off his mask, Bobby goes, now when he delivers pizzas, everybody will know who he is.
Oh God! Yeah. Yeah.
I love Bobby the Brain, but never mind that shit. Here comes Mongo.
God damn it! You stole what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, here's another match that just happened. British Bulldog taking on Mongo McMichael.
God damn it! I hate you people.
And I had no idea British Bulldog was even fucking in WCW.
Yeah, Bulldog and Anvil both went to WCW with Brett after the screw job, but they should have stayed in WWE because they were much better off there than they are here.
Oh, yeah, big time. At least they were the heel stable.
Yeah.
And speaking of the screw job, we'll get into this in a second because
WCW loved bringing up the screw job in the 90s more than WWE loves bringing it up now.
Oh God.
And part of why I say the screw job is, again, we're going to see another instance of shit happening, and you need to change the story up on the fly because Mongo breaks his hand.
Yeah, he broke his arm.
Oh, did he? Was it his
broke his whole arm?
Yeah. And again,
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about Steve McMichael. Every single match he's been in has been slow, stiff, and crap. So you get so it's what you expect.
Yeah, I have for my notes. I have Mongo hits Bulldog with a "fuck your kidneys" tilt-a-whirl slam, and then he hits him with a "fuck your kidneys" scoop slam, and then he hits him with a "fuck your spine" club to the back, and then he
Oh,
hits him with
yeah.
a "fuck your ribs" kick to the. Basically,
He's stiff as fuck.
So if
Yeah.
if Bulldog wanted to break his arm, go right ahead.
yeah.
Because I'm bizarre.
Mongo goes for a. I don't know what I don't know what he was thinking with this spot, but he's gonna go for a full-on punch. While Bulldog is backed up to the ring post, and Bulldog ducks, and he hits it full force and does break his arm with it. But he continues the match for the next 2 minutes until the British Bulldog, whose finisher was at the time a running power slam, locks
Yay.
in an arm bar.
And of course, he's got a broken arm, so he's screaming, "Oh, holy fuck, ow!" But he's
And
not
the
tapping
ref-
out, but the ref stops it anyways.
Yeah, so Mongo's then going, I never quit, screw job.
If
So
you're
is
gonna,
this
if you're,
a fucking? Sorry, is this a fucking screw job or is this just ref stoppage?
It's a
There
ref
is a
stoppage. It's not a screw job, but
Yeah.
Mongo's playing it up like it is, and the announcers are like, do we have to care about this? I didn't think so.
No,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
have to care about anything Steve McMichael did. So
No.
let's move on to our U.S. Heavyweight Championship match, Diamond Dallas Page versus Lance Storm.
And let me tell you this, the amount of respect that DDP had for Lance was just amazing.
Okay, guys.
And in fact,
Look,
that was the whole
guys,
story
guys.
that they were telling.
Oh,
How
man.
DDP really respects Lance Storm.
Guys.
What?
Look, if we're gonna be doing these WCW reviews, we're gonna have to talk about Chris Benoit.
I don't want to.
I don't want to either. It still weirds me out, but for the sake of completion, I think we should refer to him actually as Chris Benoit.
Fine.
All right.
Sure, let's talk about Christian, shall we?
You're not even close.
DDP versus
Let's
Chris
talk about
Benoit.
Beulah McGillicuddy.
All right.
I
So
would,
yeah,
but Tommy Dreamer has threatened me.
so this match is kind of pointless because you knew WCW was never going to put over Chris Benoit.
But
Never.
at the same time, DDP was determined to put over Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
this to me was my match tonight because this was fucking great.
it was, and the story was, these two respect one another. These two are not going to do anything dirty. They're not going to try any tricks. It's just going to be a straight out
Wrestling
match. And it works for a
Yeah.
while. Until Chris Benoit does something. He goes to the outside, comes back in to break the count, and then goes back outside. And this pisses DDP off. Something fierce. Beforehand, they were exchanging moves, with a lot of respect. Yeah, you almost got me there. Yeah, okay, I almost got you there. Now it's, the fuck you doing? And
He started stiffing the crap out of him.
They
God
both
damn.
started stiffing the
Yeah,
crap out of each
They
other.
were fucking working snug in this one.
And it was like, and as I'm watching this, I'm going, they fucking planned this. They had to go, at one point, let's just drop this and just start beating the shit out of each
Shit
other.
out of one
Because
another.
this is going to get you over. This is going to make people notice you. And guess what? It did. It made people notice Chris Benoit.
Because the crowd initially, when this match is happening, they're kind of quiet and they're kind of like, they're buzzing, but they're not really, because it's face versus face and you don't really know who to cheer for. But by the end of the match, they have the crowd in the palm of their hands.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, boo, yay, boo, depending on.
Yeah.
Although it is worth pointing out that one of the most noticeable signs after this was, Benoit, we knew you'd lose. I'm sorry, every time someone came to the ring after that, I just saw that sign.
I have a note on commentary because we are going to talk about. if we do this show, we're going to talk about commentary a lot.
Yes, we
And
will.
the thing I have it is that they call commentary like wrestling is a sport. Now, we all know wrestling is not a sport. We all
It's fake.
know that wrestling is predetermined, it's fake, it's whatever. But the fact is, they call it like it's a sport. Tony is the play-by-play guy. He calls the action. Tenay provides story points. He provides history. He provides analysis for why certain holds are applied. And Heenan, he has the humor, but he also has fantastic points. Like at one point, Benoit has him in like a kind of like a Cobra Clutch sleeper, and Heenan's like, "Oh, if it was me, if I was managing him, I would tell him to, put the body scissors on him." It's like, wrestling when people, I love it so much because of the WWF. Vince is always like, "Oh, it has to be about the story of the match. Don't call the moves in the match. The moves aren't important. It's the story of the match, which is why you have shit like Cole and JBL and Lawler just going off on random fucking tangents about whatever. Because
it's not
they're not
selling
paying
the product.
yeah, they're not paying attention to the match, and they're not putting the people in the match over because they're trying to tell a quote unquote. You can't tell a story with Fandango versus fucking Adam Rose. You have to call the moves in the ring.
What are you talking about with moves? Because all I hear from Tony Schiavone is, "What a maneuver! Look at that maneuver! He really got him with that maneuver! Man, that's a great maneuver!
But
What
That's
a
what
maneuver!"
they had Mike Tenay there for, because
Yeah.
Schiavone, despite being there for the longest, he really didn't know what he was talking about, like at all.
Constantly. I mean, I was like, so I'm listening to a recording of a WCW video game? Because that's what it sounded like.
He's just like, what?
No, it's worse than that, because I'm pretty sure that in the video game they can recognize a spine buster and a power bomb.
Instead, it's, "What a maneuver! What a maneuver! What a maneuver! What a maneuver! That's a great maneuver! He really got him with all of that maneuver! Oh, he missed that maneuver!" It's like, Schiavone, shut the hell up with the maneuver.
But again,
bullshit.
that's why you
That's why
you do
there's
have
3.
Tenay there. Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
why you have Tenay there.
He will in fact call the move that it's supposed to be. He's like, "Yeah, Tony, that was a spinning spine buster."
You
Or-
fucking idiot.
Or yeah, Tony, that was a
What is
a-
vintage fuck?
yeah, a vintage maneuver.
But yeah, when DDP shoots up the diamond cutter signal, the crowd goes insane.
Oh god, yeah, it was just like hot. It was like,
Yeah. So we get a diving clothesline from Paige, 2 count. Benoit gets the crossface, but Paige gets to the ropes. Inside cradle from Paige gets a 2. Benoit reverses, gets a 2. DDP belly to belly gets a 2. Benoit with the rolling Germans gets a 2. This match is great.
so yeah, just he hits that.
Huh?
hits
I'm sorry,
that
I was
diamond
next.
cutter. It's just like,
Yeah.
Yep.
And then DDP with the original diamond cutter out of nowhere.
And somewhere, a young Randy Orton is at home watching this, and, well, honest to God, he's probably thinking about headlocks.
Well,
You know, DDP, that was his thing. He could hit the diamond cutter out of anything. Oh, you're going for a power diamond cutter. Oh, you think I'm going to go for a German suplex diamond cutter? Oh, I'm going to throw you into the corner and I'm going to close diamond cutter. It was diamond cutter after diamond cutter after diamond cutter. And it was like, this is how you do it. You don't build up, you don't stalk them, you don't tune up the band, you just hit the move. And that was it.
yeah.
it's totally unexpected. It's totally untelegraphed.
Well, to be fair with DDP, you're always looking for the diamond cutter, but it's still the finisher out of nowhere.
Yeah. And he's not gonna, bang his fist on the mat and like set it up and stuff.
Yeah.
He's just gonna hit it out of nowhere.
And hiss like he's a snake and everything.
Yeah.
Or stomp in the corner a couple times, the crowd claps, or make
We're kind of getting off topic here, aren't we?
Because I don't want to talk about the next 3 matches.
No, we have to. Paige retains the title, and we move on to our next match, which is a rematch.
But before that, I want to talk about the fact that the Giant, aka the Big Show, was supposed to be here. There.
Let me talk about this, because this is a holdover from Sold Out. Because Kevin Nash faced the Giant, and the finish of that match was he attempted to powerbomb him, forgetting that Giant is 500 goddamn pounds. Kevin Nash...
Legit 500 pounds.
Yeah, legit 500 pounds. Kevin Nash is a relatively big dude with a bad back at this point.
Yeah.
He got him up maybe about halfway and dropped him on his goddamn head.
Which led to the banning of the Jackknife Powerbomb.
Because it's such a dangerous move.
Well, it is a dangerous move.
They tried.
Yeah, it is.
Fuck it, your head in.
It's the Kevin Nash fuck you powerbomb. Thank you very much.
No, it wasn't actually the fuck you powerbomb at this point. He did give a shit. It's just that Big Show... Well, I'm sorry. The Giant could not get his head tucked in in time. He couldn't...
No, it's not that it was too fast. In fact, he was holding on to him for a good 3 seconds before he realized, I can't get this guy all the way up. Fuck, I'm gonna drop him.
Yeah, Big Show. It was kind of both their fault. Kevin Nash couldn't get Big Show all the way up, and Big Show didn't.
You keep calling him Big Show.
We're just gonna go with it because at this point,
I'm not calling him the Giant. The Giant is the worst fucking name for a wrestler ever.
Yeah, Big Show basically
But he's the son of Andre the Giant.
Could not curl up enough to protect his head.
Yeah.
But
it was both their faults.
He couldn't actually get to the Cow Palace due to flight connections.
Whatever that means.
Which basically means he missed his flight. Because
how is he not there early?
Because he wasn't part of the show other than this interview segment. But they did have a very nice video package.
I thought the video package was stupid, showing a
It was nice for 1998 WCW.
I thought it was a well-produced video segment, but I just thought it was stupid to show a horrible move.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if you don't know nothing about wrestling, you're going to say, Kevin Nash fucked that up.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to the other WCW.
This is where the crap switch is flipped, because we start off with Lex Luger
now
versus
we're back
Randy
in our
Savage.
wheelhouse.
Again.
Another rematch from Sold Out.
All right, let's first off talk about throughout the night, the announcers have been talking about where is Savage, and as well as talking about how on Thunder, Savage and Luger were found talking to one another, and people were wondering what they were talking about before the NWO came out, beat the shit out of Savage, brought him out to the ring, and dumped him at the feet of Sting. Now, Savage comes out in NWO colors and to NWO music.
What the hell did they do to Liz?
I don't know. And this is to allude to the fact that, he's still with the NWO. Yeah, he's still with the NWO. This we know how this match is going to happen. No. This is not how this match is going to happen.
Nope.
For whatever reason, I don't if this was the WWE, they would have gone back, they would have shown footage of the conversation to the pay-per-view audience, because you got to remember, there was no Titantron for WCW.
Right.
So they couldn't show this to the pay-per-view audience.
Well, they could on like if the arena had like Jumbotron or something.
But they didn't bring their own like the WWE did.
Yeah.
So they never showed this footage. So if you hadn't watched Thunder, you'd be wondering what the fuck was going on too.
And in '98, nobody was watching Thunder.
Yeah, no, but that not to get too ahead of ourselves, but one of the things Russo does when he first comes in is that he starts, as a quote unquote
Oh God,
shoot,
Russo.
he starts like forcing main event guys to go work Thunder because at that point it's a punishment to go work on WCW. Like they know WCW is shit.
Well,
Like
can you blame anyone for...
they know Thunder is shit. Excuse me.
Well, can you blame anyone for not watching Thunder? I mean, who wants to watch week after week Raven bitching about DDP? Because that's all it was. Raven was basically the main headliner for Thunder.
Which is saying a lot about Raven's lot in life, because that happens to him often.
Can we please talk about what did they do to Liz?
I don't know.
They put her. Well, again, she was an NWO valet, so they had to slut her up for whatever reason. Meanwhile, you've got Randy Savage, and I forgot what a joy it is to watch this man work.
Yes. And then on the other hand, you've got Lex Luger with injured ribs.
Where the tape is around his abdomen. Hey, guys, wrestling trainers around the world, just so you're aware, the ribs are a little bit higher.
He basically has his entire, the entire bottom part of his upper torso is covered in tape.
Yeah, this thing looked like a girdle or something.
Yeah,
it really did.
It might have been.
At this point in Luger's career, more than likely. I don't know why this match is happening other than it's a rematch from Sold Out.
Yeah, that's basically it. And it's not very good. It's very slow. It's two guys who don't work very well anymore. There's more fucking guardrail spots, so more injured shins.
and the whole point of Lex Luger going into the guardrail is to soften him up for Savage. But at some point, Luger says, well, we're getting to the finish, so fuck my ribs. And then just starts hitting gorilla press slams and power slams and just basically stuff that involves him lifting Savage, where before he couldn't get Savage up.
He basically just goes full John Cena, and you never go full John Cena.
And all right, so the finish comes when Lex Luger gets Savage. Oh, by the way, this is a no DQ match.
Yeah.
So where is the rest of NWO to beat the shit out of Lex Luger?
Oh, they were waiting for the finish. They were waiting because Luger gets Savage in the torture rack, taps him out, and then the most...
Wait, no.
No, you're ahead.
No. Am I?
Yes, you are.
Because
there's two torture racks.
Oh, yeah, there was two torture racks because Elizabeth jumps in the ring at one point and rakes his eyes.
And that drops...
Liz interferes in a match. Liz interferes in a match.
Well, to be fair, Savage is supposed to be the heel.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's going to change in a section because Scott Norton, Buff Bagwell, Brian Adams, and Vincent all come down to the ring and start attacking...
The most intimidating faction of the NWO.
And start attacking Luger and Savage. Really?
Yeah, and then Hogan comes out and he's just like, leave him. I'm glad he lost, brother.
Yes, because while the camera is focused on fucking Hogan calling off the four idiots,
the bell rings.
The bell rings because Luger puts Savage back up in the torture rack and taps him out. Do we see Luger do this? No, because Hogan is here.
Oh.
And that's more important to focus on Hollywood Hogan.
By the way, Luger, as he is walking out, I guess a fan said something to him, and he spits right in the fan's face.
Classy.
He's a face.
He's the face in this match. Well, I guess Savage is a face now, too, because...
I wrote here in my notes, the show is losing steam because same old shit. Uppercard DK.
Yeah.
This literally is uppercard decay, and it doesn't get any better than our next match.
Oh joy.
Fuck.
What we've got is the WCW World Tag Team titles are on the line. It's the Outsiders, which is Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, who are being accompanied by Dusty Rhodes, who at Sold Out Because at Sold Out, he turned on Larry Zbyszko and joined the NWO.
Okay,
Why?
I know that.
Because everyone is in the NWO.
I was in the NWO.
I was confused as fuck when I saw it. It's like, what's Dusty doing at the Outsiders?
I don't remember what
WCW?
I don't remember what his reasoning for turning on Zbyszko was, but it's
His
basically,
reasoning-
I'm Dusty Rhodes. I'm the American Dream, baby. I can do what I want.
Woo!
I'm pretty sure his reason was, I like getting drunk with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall.
I guess so.
And then there's their opponents, the Steiner brothers, and it is worth who are being accompanied by Ted DiBiase for some reason, and it is worth noting this will be the last time we ever see Scott Steiner with dignity.
Oh yeah.
This is the death of Scott Steiner's dignity right here.
His arms, to quote Becky Lynch, his arms look disgusting. Already.
This is the beginning of Scott Steiner's heel turn that he never has gotten out of.
Even when he was a face in WWE, he was still a heel. Somehow.
Got that right.
Scott Steiner, for whatever reason, chooses this basically, Scott and Kevin Nash.
No. Here's what it is. I have some comments on the announcers because they were really trying to foreshadow that Scott was about to turn heel because they're putting over that Ted DiBiase is managing these guys, and he's only talking to Rick. And for some reason, they also say it was like, doesn't Scott usually start these matches? Why is Rick the first man in?
Oh, by the way, Rick and Scott Hall, by the way, will be the only men in. Kevin Nash and Scott Steiner.
They also say the jackknife
at all.
Yeah, it's because they're putting over like the jackknife powerbomb is banned. So what is Kevin Nash going to do? Kevin Nash is going to do nothing.
He's gonna stand on the apron and wait for someone to bring him a beer.
And flip
He
his hair.
stands on the apron for 4 minutes and 16 seconds. Because Scott, like we said, Scott turns heel on Rick. They do the Steiner Brothers pose for the last time in ever.
Well, not ever. They eventually get back together.
Okay,
yeah, but that was in TNA, so it's non-canon.
No, they get back together in WCW during the Russo days. Wait, no, before the Russo days.
Anyways, Scott is standing over Rick as he's barking at the Outsiders, and he winks. He fucking winks, and then clubs fucking poor Rick Steiner over the back of the head.
I wanted to say, fuck this crowd, because they pop like a face reaction for the evil heel turning his back on his brother.
Oh my god.
Which is part of the problem with this particular it's the problem with the Outsiders is that they're booked as like these super cool guys who win all the time. And so it's really hard to fucking boo that. And so they're way over. They get like a bigger pop than like most other people on the show do.
Yeah, that's actually something we forgot to mention. Before the match, we have Scott Hall doing his Survey Says gimmick.
Yeah.
Which
the
by the
crowd
way,
was
it's
totally into.
Which is a ripoff of the New Age Outlaws. Can you...
No, it's not.
Is it not? Oh, well.
No,
I don't care because it's the fucking Outsiders.
The Outlaws don't get together until, sometime after WrestleMania, after this WrestleMania.
Okay. Well, regardless, the Outsiders win, and Scott Steiner joins the NWO, specifically the Wolfpack faction, and hands the belts, all 4 of them. By the way, there were 4 belts because these were unified.
Even though they're the same belts.
What were they unified with?
They're the same belts, and I don't know why they were... I can't find a reason why they were unified.
I don't even know what they were unified. I guess the NWO belts, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think the NWO, they made like new fancier belts, and then WCW had like they had the old style belts, and then the Steiners unified the belts, and then
I can't tell you why they were 4 belts, but he hands them to the Outsiders, and he's got this look of, so am I popular now?
Oh, Scott, you're popular, but not for the reason you think you are.
So
we might have to review Sacrifice just so we can hear the Scott Steiner match promo.
We'll get to TNA eventually, but
Uh,
And it's also interesting because the announcers play it up like Rick never saw it coming, like he doesn't even know that it happened.
I don't even know how you not see that coming.
Scott has been acting like a dick all day. Maybe he's just in a bad mood.
I'm like, how do you not see this fucking coming? But we have our main event.
Okay, now we can talk about all the Starrcade 97 bullshit.
okay.
So, as we've been saying, at Starrcade 97, Nick Patrick fucked up everything.
Did he ever?
No, he didn't do it alone.
That's true, but he fucked up. He was the main catalyst, and
well, he wasn't the main catalyst. The main catalyst was probably Hulk Hogan.
Right, but the whole point of this match is at Starrcade they had to vacate the belt because everybody noticed Nick Patrick didn't count fast enough. And because he didn't
No. What the problem was they tried to play it off like he fast counted, but he counted normal speed.
Yeah.
And the popular theory is that Hogan told him to count normal speed to make Sting look like an even bigger loser than he was.
Because Hogan, for whatever reason, feared Sting and feared his popularity.
Just like Bret Hart.
Because when you think about Hogan's whole heel run in WCW, like the whole time he's just a scumbag, he's a coward, he won't fight anybody, he doesn't want a fair fight with anybody, he has to use the NWO all the time. When he wrestles Sting, who, by the way, Sting didn't wrestle for 18 months. Sting was billed as the only guy who could finally defeat the NWO. And Hogan gets in the ring, and he just beats shit out of him for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. By the way, the first 10 minutes of this match, by the way, is blatant cheating from Hogan, and the ref does nothing. I'm talking about he hits him with his belt, and I was going, yapapai, 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 brother.
Belt.
He because he has that weightlifting belt that he's always worn because reasons. He chokes Sting with his own fucking jacket. Referee doesn't do anything about that, and the commentators are going, well, I guess Charles Robinson, who by the way was our first referee,
H.
Yeah, was like, I'm just gonna let this go because, yeah, we gotta let this go. This is gonna be our main event. It's no DQ. We just won't say that.
Oh god, it's just.
So, this match is your typical Hogan match. He still has a bit of a spine left, so he can move a little bit, but it's pretty obvious he was
in his 40s at this point.
Yeah,
and he's already slowing down.
I didn't take any notes on this match because it's nothing. Like it's Hogan beating on Sting and Sting no selling everything, which is and it's a weird, boring match that has no heat because the whole match is Hogan beating up Sting and Sting not reacting to it at all.
There's no fucking psychology.
No. It literally feels like these guys are going through the motions.
And Sting even at one point hulks up.
And he whips Hogan with his own belt pretty much. He takes it off.
Yeah.
It's my turn to do some S&M.
And again I went yapapai, yapapai, yapapai. and this whole match is like I mean, I know the outcome, but if I was a kid watching this, I'd be like going, "Go Sting, go! Beat up that mean old Hogan."
It's just
Wait, did I just say young kid? This was only about 20 years ago.
Oh God, we're all old.
I know. So, as at one point, Sting goes for the Stinger Splash and wipes out Charles Robinson. And this brings down Nick Patrick.
Oh, here he comes.
And
With
everybody's
this
going,
awesome
oh,
mullet.
here comes the screw job. Here comes the screw job. The very first pin, Nick Patrick goes, 1, 2, Sting kicks out, and Hogan's like, wait, brother?
What?
You
It's
actually
me!
counted the
It's
3?
Me! Wait, brother, brother,
Nick
brother?
Patrick's just like, impartial, bitch.
Exactly. It's like, I'm impartial, bitch. What you gonna do? I just got my back pay. Oh, you thought I forgot about that, didn't you? And as this match continues, eventually Hogan, I guess, kicks Nick Patrick and knocks him down, which brings out Scott Norton, Buff Bagwell, Brian Adams, Vincent Conan.
Oh no,
of the
it's
NWO.
the NWO.
Oh.
Remember when the NWO was cool? Like it had like the
Everybody?
whole coat.
Yeah.
It had. Well, I'm talking about like one of the original incarnations was Hogan, Giant, Six-Pac, the Outsiders, and Ted DiBiase with Vincent.
Wait, was
whatever.
Giant even part of the NWO
Yes.
at this point
Yeah,
yet?
he was. No, he wasn't.
He had just been kicked out, but
Because I'm trying to, because I'm pretty sure Hogan took the title off Giant originally when the NWO first formed.
Yeah, he did. But then the Giant was the first person to join the NWO, basically because he's like, well, I can either get my ass kicked or I can join. I can join these guys. And then DiBiase joined DiBiase joined because he was the money behind the group. And then Six-Pac joined basically because he was friends with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. And then Vincent joined because I guess they needed a black guy. Have you guys ever heard the story of how of the fact that the original tough black guy who was going to be in the NWO was actually the Godfather?
that's a story for another show.
Yeah.
No. But well, do you guys know it or should I?
I don't.
I don't, but again, that's a story for another show.
No, but it's important. It's important because I'm talking about Vincent and what a piece of shit he is. Because Godfather was supposed to be in the group. They offered him guaranteed money and everything. It was like he was gonna make like, let's say like $250,000, and then fucking here comes Vincent, and he's like, I'll do it for $100,000. And Godfather's only comment was, that dumb motherfucker cost us both money.
Oh God.
Well, the finish is, as the NWO is getting their shit kicked in by Sting, Randy Savage comes out of nowhere, and it is literally blink and you miss him, smashes Hogan over the head with a spray can, and leaves. Just leaves. I'm watching this, and I'm like, okay, where's this spot? They're saying Savage is there, but I don't see him.
Yeah, I had to
there he
rewind
is.
this at least 3 times to catch that.
Oh, there he is, and he's putting the spray can next to Hogan's body. Wait. I know he had to have hit Hogan with the spray can, but you never see it. You never see it because the camera isn't positioned in a way that you can actually see this. By the way, the reason why Hogan kicks Nick Patrick is Sting hits him with the Scorpion Death Drop. And Hogan is just flailing on the way down. But again, this is one of these things that WCW did wrong. They would never show certain people, Hogan, in any form of peril or weakness, despite showing the outcome of that.
Oh.
And Here is why I think this is the death of WCW, because they could have. Starrcade '97 is what Starrcade '97 is, but they could have fixed it. This could have been the match where they fixed it, where they were like, "Okay, Hulk, you fucking got your finish. Now, I understand you have creative control, but it would really be best for business if you put over fucking Sting. You put over you put over fucking Piper clean. You put him over clean as a sheet. You had no problem with that. Now it's time to put over Sting. Could you just put over Sting?" And we still get this overbooked crap. And I feel like Sting, the character, never... He recovers from this, but he never becomes as big as he should be because of what... Not just of what Hogan does, but also because in the other company, Stone Cold Steve Austin is about to become WWF champ. And it's two bad things happening at once.
And again, like I said, you don't, unless you are religiously watching Hogan in this tiny corner of the screen, you're not going to catch Savage coming in and cold cocking in with the spray can and then leaving.
This whole it would be 13 years before Sting would get a clean win over Hogan. And even then, it was overbooked as shit. And it was in TNA, so take that for what you will.
Yeah, non-canon.
Remember, TNA, not canon.
Not canon. And
totally not canon.
Yeah, this whole thing... Like, Hogan left the WWF because he didn't want to put over Bret Hart. He probably would have left WCW if he didn't have the creative control he had and was told to put over Sting. And he's still doing it to this day. Like, I'm actually remembering back to WrestleMania 31 this year. Do you guys remember when Daniel Bryan won the Intercontinental title? And then They did that awesome backstage segment where all these past Intercontinental champions came up and basically congratulated him and said, "Hey, great job, you're awesome."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think of one former Intercontinental champion who we know was there who didn't show up
Hogan
for that
was
segment.
An IC champ.
Yeah, he was.
Right! No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
It wasn't.
Wait. There's an we got gentlemen.
To Wikipedia.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he was.
I don't think he was.
Hold on a second. Go all the way down because Wikipedia does this, and we're talking about WWF.
Yeah.
Was not IC champion.
What?
Ah!
He was tag team and heavyweight champion and Royal Rumble winner. Never IC champion.
Nope.
But again,
where am I getting this information from?
I don't know, but you have a point. If he was, he still wouldn't have done that segment.
And the thing about...
Oh, god damn it. I just remembered where I got this information from.
Where?
Fucking Michael Cole.
Oh god.
It was part of WWE's revisionist history.
Well, you know what?
I know exactly what this was. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. What it was Jeff Hardy was at one point Intercontinental Champion, and he had a match against, I think, Randy Orton for the WWE title. And and Michael Cole, as Jeff Hardy was coming out, said, like, Jeff Hardy, he has the chance to join the ranks of Triple H and Hulk Hogan as the only two people who have held both the Intercontinental title and the WWE title at the same time. And I fucking remember this. It's revisionist history because that was Ultimate Warrior.
Oh my god, you're right.
God damn it, Michael Cole, you fucked me again!
Getting back to this match. By the way, a great segue there. The reason why WCW would ultimately fail is because the overbooking of the main event. Think about this. You didn't need to have Savage come out to the NWO music because on the previous Thunder, he was laid out by the NWO and brought out to Sting for Sting to do something with him. And I don't even know what because I didn't watch Thunder. And the reason why we call this the tale of the two WCWs is look at these three matches. Once the NWO gets into the picture, everything goes out the window.
Yeah.
Every good thing, every great booking decision, everything just goes out the window because everything becomes an overbooked mess. There was no reason for the Steiner brothers to break up like that with Scott winking to the fucking camera before bashing his brother's head in. There was no reason to leave Savage out to dry by having the NWO come out after a torture rack attempt and then Hogan coming in and going, leave him. There's no reason for that. You could have just saved that for the main event. But this also goes back to the fact that they didn't want to do backstage segments. Or couldn't do backstage segments. You could have had a backstage segment where you're having the action in the ring, the torture rack is applied, and you cut to backstage, and Hogan and the rest of the NWO, and everybody's, somebody buff fucking Bagwell goes, so should we go save him? And Hogan looks at him and goes, no, let him fall. You didn't have to have these guys come out.
Yeah, they could have just, not come out.
And also, why couldn't... you notice that I've been talking about how great the commentary is, but one of the things that really bugged me is that at the end of the show, they're spending all their time talking about Hogan, Macho Man, and Sting Sting regains the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. He's supposed to be the hero of the day again, but
nobody sees him. You're just looking at Hogan's dead body in the middle of the ring.
And talking about Macho Man and Hogan. And Sting is, the third wheel, and he's the champion. And it's this is the rematch we got from fucking Starrcade.
This is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
This whole pay-per-view kind of sums up WCW in a nutshell. I mean, Starrcade, it was basically bad from start to finish because the entire show, I think, had to be thrown out and rebooked on the fly. It wasn't just the main event that was the problem. This time, they had a good start. Everything before those last three matches, that was solid, and they fell flat on their face, which is a perfect analogy for WCW.
Yeah, it really is. It's you can't... There's never been a wrestling company where the line is so clearly right down the middle of where the great wrestling and the great characters and the awesome stories are, and where all the fucking bullshit is, and it's all concentrated at the top in the main event. It's so bad.
The bottom third of this pay-per-view is pretty much all the fucking bullshit NWO booking decisions.
Yeah, it's 2/3 of the show is one of the best pay-per-views ever. Yeah, and then the last third is just Jesus Christ, this is terrible.
And the thing is, if you look at it on paper, the last three matches of this card aren't actually bad.
Yes, they are.
Hold up. I said it on paper, but when you see it in action, when you see Savage and Luger try to stumble through a match, when you see Kevin Nash and Scott Steiner not even attempt to get in the ring. Kevin Nash doesn't do shit for this match. It's all Scott Hall. And then the Hogan burial of Sting continues even after the match is done. It's wait a second, what did I just watch? It's like you're watching two very different companies attempt to coexist. And I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, WCW could have been better, but it was this decision to run everything with Hogan.
Yeah, I mean, the more we do this, the more we're gonna bash on Hogan. But Hogan is basically the worst. There's I'm convinced there's never been a guy who's been more detrimental and horrible for the wrestling business as Hulk Hogan. He's just the fucking worst. He's the worst ever.
I will say this about Hogan. He did pay his dues.
Fuck his dues.
But, which is more than you can say for...
Bubba the Love Sponge.
Yes, Bubba the Love Sponge. But
let's not talk about that walking piece of cellulite.
But again, it's like
maybe it's time to wrap this up. We have what got more screen time than Jay Lethal for TNA, and we have it's all Shawn Michaels' fault for WWE. So what should we have for WCW? We could have what got more screen time than Ric Flair because Ric Flair is in the company right now and he's not on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Well, no. That was because they did an angle where he lost to Hogan and had to retire.
Again?
Yeah.
They did that. They loved that spot.
Great.
They loved that. Whenever they got bored, it was, hey, let's have Ric Flair retire. So, in honor of that, let's have the what's made Ric Flair retire now.
Yeah, Ric Flair has retired more than the Rolling Stones.
All right, and I'll go first. What's made Ric Flair retire now? Booker T wrestling 2 great matches after fucking something up.
What made Ric Flair retire now?
Fans with bruised shins made Ric Flair retire.
That's a good one.
Okay.
What made Ric Flair retire? Oh God, Michael Buffer 80% ... wheel spin.
Oh my God, we didn't talk about
We forgot about Michael Buffer. All right, hold on. Let's back this show up a little bit. Michael fucking Buffer. If you guys don't know who that is, he is the man who coined the term, let's get ready to rumble. WCW paid this man
so much money.
$1 million, I think, per appearance. And he would only announce the fucking main events.
Oh, God.
And during this match, he is on fire. He's describing what they're wearing. He's describing what they are. He's describing what they're fighting for. Oh my God, Michael fucking Buffer. And during
Bruce Buffer's better.
Yeah, and when Sting is entering, Hogan just starts attacking him. He continues introducing Sting. He doesn't stop. Oh my God, I can't believe we forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mentioned it.
Oh yeah, Michael fucking Buffer. Holy shit. Consummate professional. $1 million per appearance, by the way.
Oh my God. Anyways, what caused Ric Flair to retire? The idea that him and Sting could be main eventing this pay-per-view and he has to watch fucking Hogan do it instead.
That's going to wrap it up for this special edition of, well, I guess we're doing a death of WCW, but it's really more of an autopsy.
Yeah, I would call it, I think we're going to call it, I was going to call it Greed, the death of WCW, because Greed is the last WCW pay-per-view ever, and it kind of perfectly encapsulates exactly why WCW
How apropos.
died. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
but,
I'm sure we'll be back with more WCW eventually. I think you had talked about New Blood Rising.
Oh God damn it.
I have to watch that pay-per-view.
I keep trying to put that shit off. That's why I did this first.
Well, even still, if we don't do that right away, what else have we got in between?
Well, we'll be back. We're gonna do fucking Payback, I guess. You know, because
I would like to do Starrcade '97.
Yeah, we might do Stargate '97. We might revisit some old TNA shows before we started reviewing TNA all the time, and slowly but surely became jaded, bitter old fucks.
and realize Dixie Carter has no business being anywhere near a wrestling ring.
I've actually been thinking that we should just review one episode of Impact because people actually say it's been okay. And I want to see if they're telling the truth.
Well, I will say we have been handed some information while we were doing the show. Apparently, Dixie is making a reality show about herself.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Well, I know what we're watching next. We're watching that and Total Divas.
Oh, God.
Can't wait for that.
All right, guys. For the dark match, I'm Iron Bite. That's Backlash. That's DigiPig. That's No Leaf Clover. On behalf of everybody in the back as well, good night and good luck.
Total Divas!